as uncomfortable as it was to begin with, the more I've looked into the second temple that stood in Jerusalem, the more I've realised that certain facts about this temple have been largely brushed under the carpet in mainstream religion. The deeper you dig, the clearer you see, both biblically and in other historical sources, that at the time that Jesus Christ walked this earth, there was no Ark of the Covenant in this temple. But why was this never made known to me in all of the 18 years that I attended a church?
Do you wish to destroy the sacred temple?
The temple is not mere stone. It is the house of God. Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will make it rise again.
But the temple Jesus was speaking about was his body.
Just a few years after Jesus was crucified, Stephen was stoned to death for quoting from the book of Amos. Yea, ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and then going on to say that the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
Believed that God would confine himself to a house built by men when he made all of creation? And didn't Jesus say, I will tear down this temple and rebuild it in 3 days before he rose from the dead? You condemned him.
Silence him, shut him up!
In this video, we'll take a look at the historical biblical truth of what was going on in Herod's temple. Here you go in the Mishneh Torah, Bais Habachira, chapter 4. Writings about Solomon's temple, the Holy of Holies, the Ark. And look at this. All these sacred articles did not return in the second temple. Here you go again from the 1906 Jewish Encyclopedia. The furniture of the temple, according to Josephus, this contained nothing, the Holy of Holies, but according to the Mishnah, the stone of foundation stood where the Ark used to be, and the high priest put his censer on it on the Day of Atonement. According to the Babylonian Talmud, the second temple lacked 5 things which had been in Solomon's temple, namely the Ark. The Ark was missing from the second temple. As spoken of here, the second temple was Herod's temple. Its splendor was intended as a visual statement of the importance of Herod's kingdom to his Roman overlords. Herod was seen by many of his subjects as a usurper, and his lavish new temple was an attempt to win them over. There is considerable evidence, however, that Herod's motives were distrusted by the more devout and traditional elements of the population, and that the new temple did not win their affection and devotion. Don't forget, this is the same Herod the Great that massacred all of the young male children in order to try and kill Jesus Christ. Here you go from the TorahResource.com. If we accept the unified testimony of rabbinic literature as well as the report of Josephus that the most holy place of the Second Temple was empty, we may recognize that the Yom Kippur ritual described in the Mishnah, which involves the Ark, never actually took place. The substitutions and deletions in the ritual, substituting the foundation stone for the mercy seat, may well have been considered by some as falling short of the mark. Such an opinion may have cast the whole temple ritual into suspicion and diminished the sanctity of the temple in the minds of some. The most significant for our study is the well-established fact that the Ark never rested in the Holy of Holies of the Second Temple. What rested there instead then? Only the foundation stone remained in the Holy of Holies. The foundation stone is the cornerstone, is the cube. So if they weren't following the rules, if they weren't following God's rules, if they weren't of God truly, then what exactly were they doing in Solomon's Second Temple, the temple of Herod the Great? The veil of the Holy of Holies was rent from top to bottom to expose the black cube of the Old Covenant. The cube behind the two pillars, the Kaaba stone, the source, all to do with the wine press, dimensional. You see here all this Freemason stuff behind the two pillars into a portal, and it's all wine press, sorcery stuff. And this is represented in so many ways in Freemasonry. You see how it is again there, the two pillars, the cube. Remember, the Ark of the Covenant was not there. They believe in Lucifer, the Luciferians. Was this partly the reason he got so angry and turned over the tables in this temple? This temple was finished off by Herod. Flavius Josephus records that Herod the Great completely rebuilt the temple in 20 to 18 BCE. In Jeremiah 3:16, we are told, "And it shall come to pass, when ye be multiplied and increased in the land, in those days, saith the Lord, they shall say no more, the ark of the covenant of the Lord, neither shall it come to mind, neither shall they remember it, neither shall they visit it, neither shall that be done any more."